0.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games. Thanks so much for joining us here today. And today is a day about Path of Exile. You're going to find out a lot of awesome stuff we've been working on. Before we get started though, I wanted to mention that there are Twitch drops that you can win. Below the live stream, there are some instructions for signing up and linking your Twitch account with your Path of Exile account, and if you do that, you'll be eligible to receive the drops. So today's live stream has got 4 sections. They say you should start your show with a bang, so we're going to start right off with Path of Exile 2. After that, we're going to show you Path of Exile Ultimatum. This is an expansion for regular Path of Exile that's coming out literally next week. After that, we're going to be joined by Ziggy D, who's going to host a Q&A.
Oh, finally, guys.
Questions from Twitch chat. So if you have any questions about the various reveals, make sure to
the
keep
stream
them
is
for
short
Q&A.
today. We
Then
can
there's
turn
gonna
off
be a live
Ziggy D.
episode of the Bay Plus podcast, where Turkey Cat and his crew of Path of Exile
And
veterans
especially
are gonna discuss
Turkey
all
Cat.
the things we've announced today.
Fuck
They'll be
this
joined by
guy.
Rory Rackham, who's the Grinding Gear Games developer who was in charge of the development of the Ultimatum League. Alright, let's get started. You're probably wondering, why has it been so long since we last showed you any Path of Exile 2 footage? And honestly, this is because the project is so important to us that we are definitely taking our time to make sure that we make the best possible action RPG. Let's watch a new trailer.
Oh, yeah. Come on! Come on! Show it! Show it! Show it! Okay, I'm ready.
Among ancient ruins, evil grows once more. The seed of corruption advances, spreading dread and despair. We must give chase.
Oh shit. Fucking hell. It's so dark, man. I like it. Creepy as fuck. Holy shit. What the fuck is that?
Countless secrets.
Fucking hell.
3,000 years of dormant malevolence.
Is it Dark Souls?
We must hunt down the seed and put an end to this madness. If Rayclast is to survive.
Fuck, it's actually new content. Holy shit, looks good, guys. And it looks like Diablo 2 remastered. Resurrected. Kind of. Holy fuck. Looks pretty slim.
That trailer really shows what we have achieved with Path of Exile 2. I am so proud of the efforts of the entire team in putting that together. At ExileCon, we announced that Path of Exile 2 is a true sequel to Path of Exile. So that means a new 7-act campaign, it means a whole new skill gem system, new items, new monsters, character classes, all the Ascendancy classes are completely new, it's got cutting-edge next-generation graphics as you just saw. Basically, it's everything you would expect from a sequel to Path of Exile. But we're not just throwing away our legacy, we're embracing it. Both campaigns will be fully playable from within the same game plan. You'll be able to play through the original Path of Exile storyline or the new Path of Exile 2 campaign on the way to the shared endgame. All of your old characters will still be playable, and of course, any microtransaction purchases you made in Path of Exile will carry on to the sequel. At ExileCon, we introduced the dark forests of the island of Ogham, where you start your journey. Today, we're proud to showcase Path of Exile 2's second act, which takes place in the Vastiri Desert.
Cool.
Welcome to Path of Exile 2's second act. As you saw in the trailer, Act 2 is centered around a caravan of Maraketh called the Ardura who live in the Vastiri Desert. You're chasing another caravan from an opposing tribe called the Faradun. There's a set of large ancient gates blocking the progress of the caravan through a desert pass, so you're being sent through the Traitor's Passage to unlock them.
We shall wait here, Jingak. But the military carts have departed for the gates. Make haste.
Path of Exile 2 is a lot more than just new acts. We want combat to feel both brutal and responsive, even at low levels. We're ensuring that each weapon type has unique and different mechanics. Each weapon class feels different to play, and today we're going to start by demonstrating the new Spear weapon class. Spears are a weapon class favoring mobility with both melee and ranged attack options. To that end, each spear will grant you at least one mobility skill. In this case, the spear comes with both an engage and disengage skill. When you engage, it increases your melee damage for a short time, and that really encourages you to be mobile during combat. One of the skills we're using here is called Whirling Slash. When you use Whirling Slash, it creates a sandstorm that grows in size each time you use the skill. When you leave the sandstorm, it explodes, dealing damage to nearby monsters. A great way to do that is to use the disengage skill, which makes you fly backwards and throw projectiles.
Oh, same old shit. Fucking Chrome. Jesus. They do not give up on the orbs.
In PoE 2, each area's mini-boss is a much more substantial fight with interesting mechanics. You'll be able to find at least one mini-boss in each area of the game. One thing I love about this boss in particular is that it destroys the ceiling when it slams the ground, letting in more light. Clever players will notice that if they're standing in the light, then they're not going to have any rocks falling on their head. The rapid assault skill that we're using against this boss does 3 rapid stabs, followed by a 4th stab that deals more damage and can stun, if you're willing to commit to a long attack time. While developing the skills for Path of Exile 2, we were really thinking a lot about designing skills that could be cancelled early to dodge, or you can commit to the full attack for maximum damage.
Not taking the flask. He knows it's shit. Why bother?
One of the skills we're using here is called Spear Field, which creates an area of spears coming out of the ground that impale monsters who walk into them, causing them to bleed. As the monsters move towards you, they take damage, so using your mobility skills as a way to move away from them is a great strategy here. In Path of Exile 2, we've invested a lot in our animation system. I'm sure you're noticing the animations are looking a lot better than they did in PoE 1. But there's also a lot of subtle detail, like characters having different run animations depending on how fast they're moving. When we use a Quicksilver Flask here, you can see the character changes to a sprinting animation.
It has precision aura, but it doesn't use it.
Now that we've arrived at the Ancient Gates, we're going to show you another of the new weapon classes in Path of Exile 2, Crossbows. Crossbows are special in that they grant attack skills implicitly. This particular crossbow grants Power Shot, which is a high damage single target attack. In order to modify what Power Shot does, you're going to need to equip Bolt skill gems, which change the type of bolts that are loaded into the crossbow.
Oh god.
Here we've got 3 different bolt skills that the character can switch between depending on the situation.
Armor-piercing bolts. Incendiary bolts.
Fuck.
Permafrost bolts can be used to disrupt packs of enemies to prevent them from closing in on your position. You can then follow up with armor-piercing bolts to do plenty of damage. In this area, we're helping Asala, leader of the Ardura, to open the Ancient Gates and let the caravan through. Because the bolt types are the skill gems, support gems that are added to them will modify whatever the skill is that you're using. Here we're going to add multiple projectiles to our incendiary bolt.
No more fucking fusings, guys. Everything is a 6-link. Cool. Got the onslaught too. Where he gets onslaught. I wonder if people will notice distinct difference between the PoE 1 and 2.
We're doing a lot more interesting things with monster packs. Here you can see some of the monsters patrolling around.
Piercing bolts. Permafrost bolts. Incendiary bolts. Armor piercing bolts. Permafrost bolts. Armor piercing bolts. Permafrost bolts. Incendiary bolts. Armor piercing bolts.
Now we're coming to another example of a Path of Exile 2 mini-boss, Li'im the Impaler.
Armor piercing bolts.
Almost killed him actually.
Incendiary bolts. Armor piercing bolts.
The boss has dropped another type of crossbow, a siege crossbow. This
Yeah, it's a
runs
crossbow.
the siege cascade skill. The skill is also modified depending on what type of bolts you're using.
Fucking rain of arrows
Bolts.
with one arrow. No, not one.
Incendiary bolts.
It's kind of shit. Look how shitty is that. Oh no. Just so slow. And over the top skills have always been absolute shit.
Incendiary bolts.
He has to use the cold bolts to slow them down, otherwise they will eat their face. He has to like slow them down on purpose. Yeah, look, they all come to him, to his face.
We try to add a lot more little details to combat in Path of Exile 2. You might notice that the monsters who die while burning have charred corpses. We really want to make sure that there's a feeling that as you leave the battlefield, there's clear evidence of what combat took place there.
Permafrost bolts.
So monster corpses mean more lag.
Permafrost bolts. Incendiary bolts.
More clutter and more rendering. Jeweler's Orb. I'm sorry.
Armor piercing bolts. Permafrost bolts. Incendiary bolts. Armor piercing bolts. Incendiary bolts. Armor piercing bolts. Permafrost bolts.
I mean, imagine like 1,000 monsters, corpses on a map.
Incendiary bolts. Permafrost bolts. Incendiary bolts. Permafrost bolts. Incendiary bolts.
Absolutely, yeah, because customizable.
This is the Perennial King, the leader of the Faradun. His goal here is to prevent you from catching the caravan at any cost.
Piercing bolts.
He's almost killed him, like he has no HP. I would fucking, you know, triple, like, make the HP like 10 times more. This type of boy, I mean, he almost killed him. What the fuck? Fucking useless boss. Didn't even take any damage. Man, this looks super easy. Just run around and hit.
We will finish this, but not.
Make haste! He must not escape! Quickly! He conjures the very sands against us!
This madness has gone on long enough. The king is not the man I once knew. And sands swallow me if I do any more to enable him. You plan to continue your pursuit, yes? You will not catch him. Not without me.
We cannot follow through the raging sands. Let us return to the caravan and question this defector.
This is the Ardura caravan, your town in Act 2.
I am Asala, the Sekima of the Ardura. I care not where you came from, nor what caste you might have been there. All that matters is that you have shown yourself capable in battle, Jingak. Remain a friend to the Ardura, and you shall have nothing but respect from us.
I mean, it's really cool. It's a moving city.
From what your shade has told us, the situation is dire. This Balbalic will live or die based on her usefulness in pursuit of the seed of corruption. Ask her what questions you will, then we, Ardura, will decide her fate.
You need not trust me. You will see the truth of my information soon enough.
I mean, it's actually moving. Look, it's crazy.
One of the things we really wanted to do in Act 2 was to use the mobility of the caravan to allow the player to choose how they explore the act. Here you're given 4 options on how to proceed.
There is a tribe of lost men that inhabits the Mastodon Badlands. They worship the bones of those long ago beasts. And that faith has given rise to powerful tasks that can somehow call on storms and strike enemies with lightning. The king wishes to steal these objects of worship and use their lightning in war.
I mean, there's a lot of gold out there.
Though events demand you tread upon a valley of the dead, do not do so flagrantly. Keep your presence light. Cleanse what corruption you can, and we shall skirmish with the Faradun to protect your flank.
Once you've picked your destination, the caravan will travel to that area and come to a stop so that you can disembark and go on your quest. Because we just got the Storm Spear skill as a quest reward, now would be a great time to switch back to spears and use some ranged abilities. Storm Spear fires a lightning projectile which splits on contact.
Oh, like Crackling Lance. The same.
The other skill we're using here is called Blazing Lance. Blazing Lance creates a trail of fire from the ground, dealing damage over time. However, if you're willing to stand in place for long enough, you can throw a second spear that will fan the flames for much more damage.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
We've just found a unique spear. It's called Devata's Wind. This spear has an extra modifier that synergizes really well with Storm Spear. When you disengage, you get 2 additional projectiles on your projectile skills.
Honestly, the graphics look like it's Diablo 3, you know? Reminds me of Diablo 3. These layouts remind me of D3. I mean, they're playing for the fucking entire act too. This is cool. The music is great. The boss fights are too easy. Imagine the juiced up characters with 6-link table or something like that. They will just fucking one-shot these things.